Alright, so I've written a lot more. I started sort of coalescing everything together for what I'm hoping to be Neurotic Nihilism 5, and then from that I'm going to maybe put that together into something like, I don't know. I know I was gonna try. I'm gonna try and go to 10 before I do anything. Like put it into like a compiled book, but at the same time, I think there's enough for like a zine or something for like the first five. Though honestly, that would probably be enough for a small book if I think about it. But you know, I got a new notebook yesterday, and I've been writing a lot. I was up most of the night, but that was for more than simply that. And so I have a few things that I don't know. I'm just gonna read some of them out loud. Um, some of it might be for Neurotic Nihilism 5, and others might not be. But so I was thinking about, so I was watching a show, and it got me thinking. And so water is an envious element. It constantly longs for more and more of itself. If anywhere near, the molecules attract one another, flowing, fitting, storming in it, and engorging to its own substance. As a liquid or gas, the molecules of H2O are able to adapt to their environment and manipulate until reaching the point wherein it reaches more moisture. Still water is the point wherein it still water is infectious, and in the solid state, water is ice, frozen, like a jackass trapped by his own toiling and trauma. Unless the malleable makings, all that happens with it at most, should it not be a completely stagnant slab, only shatters and chips as it moves along until inevitable final damnation. So, it's kind of like, um, I don't know, that seems self explanatory. Why am I going to explain it? Um, you know, it's like the Bruce Lee thing where Bruce Lee's like, be like water. Well, okay, water comes in many different forms, but how do you be like water? I mean, you can be water, you can be ice, you can be solid and stuck. I mean, yeah, you can be an iceberg, and yeah, you might get hit by the Titanic, but that's just gonna shatter you. Like, you might last longer than the Titanic does after that, but even then, it just chips and chips and chips and shatters over and over and over. Anyway, I wrote some poems. Um, so I guess I'll read those. So the first one, um, I'll call it Malignant Indifference. Debased restraint, contradictory taint, wounded, winded, actively attached, draining phase, malignant indifferent, instituted and intentional, invigorating incarceration. And that was the first one. And then the second, I guess I'll call pointless prescription. Um, Frail validation, Atlas armor, enduring in spite of futility, failure and elation, time does not permit, poetic reflexes, pointlessly prescribing, philosophical plots are merely preparing for imagined eternity flying. Um, I guess that one I'll probably have to explain because, so, I mean, I don't believe in eternity, but the suicidal ideation is one that if you pair it with terror management theory, it's very poignant because there's not this there's this sort of, it's a want for everything just without the bullshit. Like, continued exist is just completely detached from anything that would be a double-edged sword, possibly pleasurable, but also, with that suffering involved in it, if that makes sense. Yeah. Um, but yeah, then, um, so, and then yesterday I was going to Barnes and Noble yesterday to get this notebook, and, just prior to getting that, there's this little market and stuff, and I saw this guy with, he had these leather runes, like rune patches, and if it wasn't the box set, I would have gotten the 13th one, because I like the 13th rune. I think it's a very cool symbol. I like all the variations of it. Which actually, it's funny. I saw a guy at work with the wolf symbol tattooed on his hand right here, and I commented on it because like, oh, wolf symbol. He's like, what? I'm like, the thing right here. And he's like, and then he was going into the long-winded spiel about how, there's these associations. It has relations to the swastika. It has all this. I'm like, yeah, my guy, I know. I have it right here, and I also have it right here. Um, I know what it is. Um, but it was like, yeah, it's also from the 13th rune in the runic alphabet of the Norse people. It represents Yggdrasil, yada yada yada, tree of life, death rune, all that shit, all that fun shit. Which, yeah, yeah. I guess that. Oh, I'm reading Transcendental Magic, and it's so funny because it's one of these really great occult works, and I'm like, I agree with Anton LaVey, like because Eliphas Levi was a Christian, I like poignantly and explicitly, like even in reading that, he derives to that, like it's not like this, like it's basically just working with the good guys and attempting to charm the bad guys or whatever. It's not really it's not really whatever. It's just funny. But I'm almost finished with that. Then I'm reading Dita Von Tee's book. Then I don't know. I'm probably just gonna, I don't know. I have 4 more weeks here and then I'm gone. So there's that, and then cocaine and toupees. I don't know.